If I want to share a copy of my iBook with my students, I've got a few options. Let's say I'm up to the point where I think that although the book is not finished, it's got enough content in it that will be useful for students. I can just quickly browse the book here by checking in the left-hand viewing pane. Yep, I've got the first couple of sections in chapter 1. They're all looking pretty good. And there I've got chapters 2, 3 and 4 down the bottom. I'll leave those for now. I'll work on those a little bit later. But this stuff that I'm developing here in chapter 1, actually that's pretty helpful for the students now, so I'd like to get a copy out to them. I've actually got 3 options. I can preview the document by clicking this button over here, or I can export by going to File and Export and choosing iBooks or PDF. Strictly speaking, you do actually have a third option here, which is the Export to Text option, but it's very unlikely that you will use that because if you do, you will lose all of your text formatting and all of your images. Now we're going to focus on these two here, but before I do that, let's just quickly go back to preview. If I preview an iBook on an iPad, I actually have to physically connect the iPad to the computer with the docking cable and then press that preview button. And that will give me an instant view on the iPad of what the book looks like on the iPad as opposed to on the computer. The obvious limitation there is that in order for that to work, I have to have the student's iPad with me, or I have to have the computer in class and the docking cable. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, it's just that if I want to share the book with the entire class in one go, that might be a little bit impractical. So if we go back to the File menu and then choose Export, I've got 2 options. If I choose iBooks as the export option, I'm actually going to create a file that the iPad can read, which I can then share either by uploading that file to a Moodle site or an Edmodo site, or by saving that file into a Dropbox folder. If I choose the PDF option, I actually end up saving the document, well, as a PDF. And the advantages of the PDF are that not everyone needs to have an iPad in order to read a PDF. It can be read in a web browser or just on basically any computer or tablet device. So if you're concerned about students not having access to an iPad, they still actually can read the content of your iBook simply by exporting it as a PDF. And of course, you can then upload that PDF as well to your Moodle site or your Edmodo or your Dropbox folder, or wherever you think your students are going to be able to best gain access to that file. And when you have the PDF option selected, you also have options for selecting image quality, and why not go for best? And then you can hit next and choose where you're going to save that file. One thing to be aware of with PDF files, of course, is that if you have any interactive widgets in your book, the interactivity of those widgets will be lost because a PDF file doesn't support that functionality.